All right, so we have the neck and spine and the legs. Next, we want to do are the arms. So for the arms, right now they are in IK mode. And the IK mode is useful for a lot of different things, right? If I'm trying to grab something or put the hand on something, you're looking for like kind of a direct motion. But it's not really good for what we're doing because really what we want to happen is we want the arms to swing, okay? For one, it's going to be kind of hard to animate that just this way. It makes it kind of weird. Also, when you animate, right, it's going to interpolate directly, which means it's going to, if I put the arm here and I put the arm here, when it interpolates between it, it's going to go like this. It's going to be a straight shot instead of swinging down and up. Now, I can put a key down here, but then it's still just going to go like this. Now, we could try to do it also with adjusting the curves so that it does curve, but it's a lot of extra work for something we really don't probably want anyhow. So we're going to switch from the IK mode and instead use FK mode. So I'm going to go up top here. We're going to grab this, hit N. We're going to go down to the properties. You got to grab your little diamond thing up here. And we want to switch these to FK mode. So I'm just going to put 0 on both of these. And now our arms are in FK mode, which is more what we were looking for. Okay, let's grab this arm. We'll start with the 1, and then we'll do both a little bit. I'm going to do R and Y. And not Y, sorry, R and X. Okay, and we're just going to rotate it down, right, because he's kind of a little too far out. Let's do this one too. R and X. And rotate it down. Make sure you're on the first frame because it's going to automatically create a keyframe. Okay, the arms are pretty straightforward, to be honest. Really, all they're going to do is they move the opposite of the legs. I remember getting a discussion with a student when she's like, no, they move it in the same way. And then she got up and tried to do it, and she immediately knew she was wrong, and it was pretty funny. Okay, so we're going to do R and Z, and I just want it to go forward like that, okay? And then we can go ahead and go to the end here, and I'm just going to hit, actually, no, we'll do this, Control-C, Control-V. We're going to go now to 12, and it's just going to be the opposite. So R and Z, and just put the arm back, okay? So you're going to see it swings like this. And we just need to do the same thing on the other side. Grab this one, the shoulder here, and we'll grab this, Control-C, go to the end here, Control-V. Then we'll go to 12, and I'm going to hit R and Z, and we're going to rotate this forward. And I actually think I didn't rotate this back. Whoops, R and Z, rotate that back, Control-C, Control-V. Okay, and if we hit space, you'll see we have our basic walk. Okay, yay. Now, it could be a little bit more improved. So, right now, his arms are very stiff, and it sort of work in a weird way. I think it actually kind of works because he's so jaunty. Is that the word I want? The adjective I'm looking for. So he's very directed. So I think having these kind of arms in this sort of like stiff pose makes sense with the way that he's moving, but that's not normally how people move. Usually, what will happen is it moves like a swing, like it's like a rope. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to work our way down and animate each. So with this one, what I want you to do, I'm going to do this arm here. Okay, so it starts off going back, and then right at 12 is the main key all the way back, and then it's going to start coming forward, right? So what I want to do is let's go to, let's say, frame 16, okay? I'm going to hit R and then Z, and we're going to rotate it so it's basically straight, okay? Then what we're going to do is let's go to here, okay, and let's do R and Z, and we're going to have it bent a little bit. Now, what's going to happen is as his arm goes back, it's actually going to bend more, right? So let's go to, let's say, I'm trying to think. Let's go to 8. We're going to do R and Z, and I'm actually going to bend it more than what it was. So he bends more, then it's going to go back here, and then it's going to start pulling and coming back forward again. And then we just need to copy this, Control-C, Control-V, and you'll see the arms are kind of swinging. I do feel like it's either too much or too early. So let's pull this here. I'm going to have it go to 6 instead. It also feels like too much, to be honest. Let's do R and Z, and let's just go a little bit less. And then let's see how that looks. Looks a little more natural. And yeah, and actually I'm going to move these back over. Let's go to like 10 instead. There you go. And now you can see it kind of swing. Okay, that looks good. We're going to do basically the same thing on this side. Okay. But it's going to have to be offset a little bit. So I had it, how offset did I do this one from? So 12 is the max. So we went to 4 frames after. 4 frames till it got straight. So I'm just going to do the same thing here so I can use that as a guide. So 12 would be the max here. So we're going to go to frame 4. And here, R and Z, we're going to straighten it out. Okay. And then he's going to go to frame 12. And then I think it was like 4 frames afterwards. I think I went farther. I think I went here even. R and Z. And we're just going to make this the bend. Okay. And then I'm going to look. So this is 4 frames. So we're going to say here. I am going to hit I to make a keyframe. But I'm actually going to use this for 24. So what I was trying to do is see how this is 4 frames from here. And then it's 4 frames from here. And then this is a total of more than that. I'm just going to use that as a guide. So we'll just do Control C there. And then I'm going to do a Control V here. And let's see what that looks like. And you can see now it looks like he's swinging his arms. All right, but you can see that basically it's a delay from what the top arm is doing. This one's slightly delayed. Now we're going to do is do the same thing with the hands, right? So I'm just going to start here. And so this gets straight at 4. I'm going to have this get straight at, let's say, 6. So we're going to do R and Z and make it kind of like this. Okay. And then this one gets its full extent of bent at 20. I'm going to make this one get its full extent of bent at 24. So we'll do R and Z. And we're going to go like this. And then I could just copy this for the other one. Control C. And I'm going to go here, Control V. And so that way the hand swings a little bit. It's a little more subtle. We'll do it over here as well. So this one reaches its peak straightness on frame 16. So this one we will do, do I have it selected? I do. Okay, at frame 20. And we'll hit R and Z. And I'm just going to go like this. Okay. And then this thing reaches its full bend at 10. So we will do this one at 14 will be its full bend. So we'll do R and Z. I'm just doing 4 frames off center. So maybe that's a little too much. Let's go to like 12. That way there's a little bit of time. Okay. And then I'm just going to go halfway between these. I'm just going to go ahead and hover up here, hit I. I'm going to take this and put this here. We'll Control C. And then we're going to do Control V. And there we go. Now the hands are swinging, and that looks pretty okay. This up and down's like killing me. So I'm going to go, the down I think isn't that big of a deal, but G and Z just go up a little bit. And then G and Z go up a little bit. And then the up is just way too high. G and Z. And then G and Z. Like that. So yeah, this is a little more natural. Okay, so now you can see we have basically our walk. Now, one thing you might have noticed is that there's a little bit of a weird like pause almost, and the reason for that is our frame 24 and frame 1 are the same, which is what we need to have happen in order for it to loop. But what that actually means is that that's actually being held for 2 frames. So in actuality, you'd want to view this at 23. I only did 24 so that I could, I mean, I guess we can still put the keys there, but for the purposes of animating. So now you'll see there's less of that hiccup in between. It doesn't hold that frame for that allotted amount. And now we have our animation. So you might want to go through as well. I'm not really all that worried, but you might want to go through and like, you know, take all of these. Let's go to frame 1 and like R and Z. Oops, wrong direction. This way. Maybe rotate them in a little bit. You know what I mean? I guess we'd have to grab the other ones too. Did I grab that one? I think I did. Okay. R and Z. Just so it's a little more natural. Um, it's up to you, but you might want to do a little bit of posing with the hands as well. Like I said, I'm not overly concerned, but if it's something that you're bothered with, just go ahead and clean the hands up a little bit so they look a little more natural. Okay, so that looks pretty good. We now have it complete. So obviously this isn't an animation course in and of itself, but I did want to show you. I want to make sure that the rig is working. We can see it working. We did a test on it. Something that you might want to do if you were working on this. If you want, you can render this. I'm not going to go over how to do that. You could look it up. It's pretty straightforward. Just go to your render settings. I'd probably switch to cycles because it looks better. And then you'd go into this, and you would just have this all be the same. It probably by default will it'll automatically have the frame rate that you want, or frame range. You obviously would want to do the settings here for what you would like. I highly suggest doing an image sequence and just compositing it together afterwards, but you can also choose to do an MPEG. It's a short thing anyway. It's only a couple frames, so if you want to do the what do you call it, an MP4, that's fine. Okay, so but for all intents and purposes, for us, I just want you to submit the blend file, and then I can look at it and animate it. Feel free to elaborate on this. If you want to try doing a run cycle or something else, that's totally fine as well. I just wanted to give you kind of a taste of some animation, so you can see your rig. You make these toys. I want to play with them, so that's what we're doing here.